y'all.
We're going to be showing you an easy sourdough bread today.
Right. This one is a sandwich bread. So it's not the artesian with the really crusty crust on it. This one is going to be your traditional sandwich bread. So let's get going. And we have measured most everything out. We're going to go ahead and measure out our sourdough starter. You want 200 grams of your sourdough starter. So we just have a scale here. We zeroed it out, and you always want to use a scale whenever you're doing your sourdough. It just gives you a better result. And 200 is about a cup, which I think we went over just a little bit here. So let me get some of that out of there. And it's okay if you overdo it, you can just put it right back in. Wouldn't you say using the scale's a lot easier, isn't it?
Definitely. It's easier to get an actual measurement.
Right. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not very difficult. And you get a better result because it's very accurate. And with sourdough, with all the variables that go into it, I think that's just nice because then that's one less variable you have to worry about. All right. Well, then after that, we've got a little bit of warm water. You never want to use tap. Always use a filtered water when you're using water with sourdough, okay? Mm-hmm. And this is how much sweetness?
175 grams.
175 grams. And then what do we have?
We're going to add 7 grams of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
7 grams of salt.
And Isabella will leave this recipe down below for everyone so you'll have it.
Yeah. 15 grams of melted butter.
And we've taken a little too long. Ours have solidified. All right. Now we've measured all these out and we use grams for all of it.
Mm-hmm. And then 400 grams of flour.
When you're doing flour, if this is a unbleached all-purpose flour. Now you can use whatever flour you prefer. We just want to encourage you to only use an unbleached flour. Whatever it is, it needs to be unbleached. Go ahead. Whenever you're doing a sourdough, again, to make it turn out for you and not have too much trouble, you don't want to kill off any of your yeast. That's why you do not want to use a bleached flour, and you do not want to use chlorinated or tap water. Okay, so we got this going. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put this out on a lightly floured surface. Okay. We're just going to knead it. Do you want to knead it? Sure. You want to knead it for about 8 minutes, and you'll do a window pane test. What we're doing here is we're trying to get the gluten to develop. And that's why you need your bread, is because you need your gluten strands to become stronger. Okay, so after you've kneaded it for about 8 minutes, you can take off about a golf ball size, and then you just want to stretch the dough. And it should stretch without ripping. See, mine's still ripping, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this just another minute or two. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll it out into a rectangle. Now we're going to just roll it into a loaf here. We're going to pull the sides under to give it tension on the top. That's what you're wanting. And then we're going to put it in our greased, and we also put a parchment paper in there. I'm going to put it on top here, or put it in here. We're going to let it rise. We don't want a skin to develop, so we can cover this with saran, or you can also put a little bit of oil on top of here. I just got my handy dandy olive oil here. So we're going to put a cover on him as well, because we don't want him to dry out. So we're just going to put him right in the oven and let him rise. We're going to have the oven light on. The oven will not be on, just the light, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we like to do it that way. He stays at a better temperature. We find that that works better for us. So that's what we're going to do. We'll just sit him in here and let him do his thing.
And we're just going to let that rise until it's doubled in size.
Yes. Just keep an eye on it. It depends on weather. It depends on your sourdough starter, how active it is. There's a lot of factors when going into sourdough. So if this is new to you, then give yourself a break. It's okay. It might take a little bit to learn. We're still learning, and we've been doing this for several years now, right?
Yeah, about
4 or 5 years we've been doing sourdough. So give yourself some time. Okay, it does take a little time, and you might have a few flops here and there, but typically, even with the flops, we find it still tastes way better than anything we could have bought at the store. So just be kind to yourself, and just know that there's a lot of factors. This isn't an instant yeast that we're talking about, like we're used to here in the United States. It is a slow process, not always, right? I mean, it's slower than an instant yeast, but the results are remarkable.
Yeah.
So give yourself some time. Just put it in there in the oven and with the light on only, and let it work itself up to doubling in size or thereabouts. Ours will take what, about 3 hours usually?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Usually a good 3 hours to do its stuff. A lot of times we do this and let it sit overnight even.
Yeah.
In the oven with just the light on to get it to do its thing. So it isn't an instant yeast, so it's not going to take 30 minutes or whatever you're used to, but the results are so much better.
Yes,
All right, so our bread has been rising in our oven for about 5 hours now. Here he is. So he's looking pretty good. I smudged him right there, but the rest of him looks pretty good. So we are going to put a little butter on top of him, and then we're going to put him in the oven, right?
Right.
And our oven's been preheating to 400. Brush him with a little butter. This has hardened back up. Okay. You don't mind my little thing I tore him when I was putting him in the pan. All right. Okay. How long are we going to put it in for?
We're going to put it in for 30 minutes.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so the timer just went off, and we're going to get our bread out of the oven.
Yeah. There we go. We're just going to put some butter on top here. Helps keep that crust soft if you butter it right after it comes out of the oven. Okay. Now we got to move it over to a cooling rack. Okay.
Don't mind our eggs.
I know it's very tempting to go ahead and break into that because it smells amazing, doesn't it?
And that golden top.
Right. Just let it cool off completely before you slice it up, okay? Okay, we're going to cut into our bread now. This is one of our favorite parts, isn't it? The heel.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. Pillowy soft.
Yes.
And
it has a hint of sweetness. It's super good.
Definitely.
We hope this takes the intimidation out of baking with sourdough.
Right. Yes, I know it can be very intimidating, but it need not be. Just because it's a little something different, just give yourself some grace and give it a go, and let us know what's happening.
Yeah.
What are you experiencing? And the more you work with bread, any kind of bread, the better you get at it because of the feel, right?
Right. Yeah.
And when I was trying to teach Isabella about the feel of the dough, she didn't understand until you get your hands in there, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. It's a different
texture.
Yes, texture.
Right. Yeah, you'll just feel it. You'll feel the difference. So don't let sourdough intimidate you. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we absolutely love all of our products that come from sourdough. They're easier on your tummy for digestion. They're just all around better for you.
Yeah, they're more fluffy than just regular bread
that
you make with instant yeast.
Right. And don't you think like the cinnamon rolls and the pastries are and fluffier?
Soft,
Yeah. So just keep going at it. Even if it comes out a little bit of a flop, if you think it's a flopped, go ahead and taste it anyway. You'll see what we're saying. Right. Even a flopped sourdough,
yes, it's still delicious.
Tastes way better than store-bought. So, well, guys, we thank you so much for coming along with us today in the kitchen, and we enjoy having y'all so very much here. So thank you. And as always, keep it simple
and fun. Also, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any of our fun videos. And don't forget, share it with your friends.